Thanks for joining us on a Thursday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show here on 98.9 The Answer. Appreciate your time today. It'll be interesting tonight, Springfield, Ohio, where Vivek Ramaswamy, how should I refer to Vivek? Do I dare refer to him as the future governor of the state of Ohio? That would be my hope. Certainly prefer him to the one that we have. Vivek Ramaswamy will host a town hall tonight in Springfield, Ohio. Tickets are sold out. And there's a nefarious side to that, which we will get to momentarily. But the big news is that not Vivek Ramaswamy is headed to Springfield for a town hall, but that Donald Trump says he is headed to Springfield, Ohio. Last night, at a rally in Uniondale, New York, Donald Trump said, "I'm going to go there in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to Springfield." That will be interesting. And certainly will bring more national media attention to Springfield, which it seems to me the left media, and sorry, I was a bit redundant there. The leftist media is sure not interested in Donald Trump coming to Springfield. The city officials in Springfield are not interested in Donald Trump coming to Springfield. Now, that's a little curious to me. I know. I get the leftist media. They don't want him there because they claim that he has unfairly portrayed Springfield. I will say he has unfairly portrayed, or well, not even unfairly, questionably portrayed an aspect of Springfield. We don't know whether pets are or are not being taken, sacrificed, eaten. We don't know that. I said the other day, what's the standard on that? If one pet has been taken, is he accurate in what he said at the debate? Does it have to be 10, 5? What's the cutoff? But again, that's just so much of a distraction. What is indisputable is that Springfield has been overrun by illegal aliens. And they are illegal aliens. I don't care if you say, well, they're here on temporary protective status and so they're legal. No, they're not. They're not citizens of the United States of America, okay? They've not taken the test. They've not pledged their allegiance to the United States of America. They're just here because they'd rather be here than where they came from. Okay. And I have compassion for where they've come from. I know Haiti is a lousy place to be. I also know that it's not America's fault that Haiti is a lousy place to be. And that when you inconvenience and somewhere between inconveniencing and ruining the lives of people who've lived in Springfield, Ohio, for the better part of their own lives, well then, like many things in our culture, there's not a perfect choice. I mean, it would be great if we could welcome into our country everybody who wanted to come, who wanted to assimilate, who wanted to pursue the American dream. That would be great. Unfortunately, we just can't do that. Like a lot of things in our society, like here's an issue we talk about on the show all the time, right? The issue of transgender students wanting to use the bathroom that is not aligned with their biological sex. Now, in a public school, it'd be perfect if they could have their very own restroom. But the fact is, public schools were built a long time ago before the lunacy of transgenderism set in, and before anybody contended that a boy could be a girl and a girl could be a boy, and before anybody said, I'm a boy, but I want to use the girl's bathroom. So you just can't, accommodate everybody's request on that. You have to say, no, we'll send you the faculty restroom. It's an imperfect solution because whenever you say, no, we'll make accommodations for you, they're like, well, I don't like those accommodations. I want the exact accommodations I want. And immigration is the same thing. Democrats think we ought to be able to allow everybody in and, just take care of them. Well, sure, I know you'd like to tax us all so that you can afford to do that. The fact of the matter is, you haven't been able to tax us all to afford to do that yet because you don't have control of both sides of Congress, and heaven forbid you get them in November. But there's just no perfect solution to this. And so somebody has to not get exactly what they want in these kinds of situations, whether it's a transgender student in a bathroom at a public school or whether it's an illegal migrant coming here and being plopped down in the Midwest and then given government benefits that give them an advantage over a naturalized citizen. In the case of the transgender bathroom student, I'm going to do everything I can to keep them from being bullied. I'm going to do everything I can to accommodate them, but in my efforts to accommodate them, I'm not going to allow them to impose their will and their preferences on a biological girl who is terrified of a boy being in her bathroom. I'm just not going to allow that. They'll march me out of the building in handcuffs before I allow that. Likewise, if I have to pick between illegal migrants from Haiti coming in and getting tax benefits and other government benefits and advantages that naturalized U.S. citizens who've lived in that town for 40 years don't get, I'm going to side with the naturalized citizen every single time. Every single time. I'm not going to endorse violence against the migrants, but I'm going to side with the naturalized citizen every single time. And that's Donald Trump's position, and that is the right position because it is the common sense position, the logical position. And yeah, the biblical position. Oh, what do you mean biblical position? Read your Old Testament. How many times? How many times did God insist upon not allowing a culture to be corrupted by an outside culture? And you say, oh, well, Jesus had a whole different thing. We can debate that. I'm not sure he did have a whole different thing. Be kind, be neighborly, love your enemy. You can love them, but you can say, sorry, you can't come in here and you can't eviscerate our community. So Trump is coming, and Trump will bring more attention to it. And this is why Democrats hate what Donald Trump has done to Springfield, Ohio, which is bring attention to it. He hasn't ruined it. Even the mayor of Springfield said he would prefer that Donald Trump didn't come. Well, why would the mayor say that? I mean, if I'm the mayor and I want somebody in the federal government, and he wrote letters to people in the federal government saying, hey, we're in Springfield. Hey, we're over in Springfield. Hey, we need help. Okay. Now, if Donald Trump comes, if J.D. Vance starts talking about you, if media organizations start coming into your town and start paying attention to you, that kind of seems to me like a way that you might be able to get some of the help that you said you wanted. It also seems like a way that a lot of people might start digging into exactly what's going on in Springfield and why an unlikely place in the center of the state of Ohio is overrun with illegal migrants. And of course, the age-old solution to that, or at least a good starting place, is to say, follow the money. Follow the money. Who's getting the money? We know the government is giving out the money. Where does the money go? Does it all go to the migrants? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'd like to know. Unfortunately, we don't have investigative mainstream media outlets anymore that look into that. But we do have people who still believe journalism is what journalism was supposed to be, which is holding powerful people to account. And so my guess is there will be people like Daily Wire, Ohio Press Network, other organizations that will dig into Springfield, and I look forward to seeing what they report. So Trump is on his way, and Vivek Ramaswamy is on his way, and we'll see what comes of those visits tonight. The reason why this is important is because of something that would seem completely unrelated to it. Yesterday, testimony before a House Homeland Security Committee. And they had a former head of the San Diego sector, chief border agent for the San Diego sector, a guy by the name of Aaron Heitke, who was in front of a congressional committee yesterday, talking about the number of people on the terror watch list coming into the United States of America through that sector during the Biden administration. Listen to this.
We had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year. These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border.
Well, isn't that interesting? which then, of course, prompted a question to this guy about what do we know about these significant interest alien terrorists?
What information do we have on the millions of known gotaways that have entered this country?
None.
Zero information of millions of people, some of which have found to be on the terror watch list. We have zero information.
Correct.
I told you yesterday how problematic that is. Two things can be true at once. You can be a country that welcomes legal immigration. And you can also be a country that allows too many illegal aliens, some of whom have nefarious interests that run counter to the interests of the United States of America, whether it's Springfield or San Diego.
Partly sunny, a warm afternoon. A high today at 88. It'll be clear tonight, low 62. Sunny to partly cloudy. It'll be a hot day tomorrow, a high at 93. Saturday, variable cloudiness, a thunder shower, and the high near 90. For Sunday, a very warm day, sunny clouds, high 87. Clouds on Monday morning, followed by some sunny clouds for the afternoon. The high for Monday at 79. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
It's finally here. Fine Home Furnishings, Polaris Location's grand opening. Dive into a world of premier American-made furniture featuring the best brands and endless customization options. The grand opening event offers special deals and a chance to transform your home with furniture as unique as you are. Don't miss out. Come celebrate. Fine Home Furnishings, Polaris Parkway. Fine Home Furnishings, OH.com.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2 to Retire Ready Ohio with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group. The firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
The Tilton family at Tilton's Automotive Service has been serving our community with state-of-the-art equipment for nearly 35 years. From oil changes to detailing to complete engine replacement, we're here to serve you to the highest levels and make you part of the family. All our repairs are backed by a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty. Check out our mobile app for discounts and specials. Tilton's Automotive Service, in the shadow of Anheuser-Busch in Columbus and just off Creekside in Gahanna. For more info, check out tiltonsauto.com. Take it to Tilton's.
The sage from South Central has returned.
Kamala Harris. She has all these wonderful ideas. Why haven't they implemented them so far? Why wait until now?
Larry Elder is back and better than ever on the Larry Elder podcast.
She's reversed position after position after position. When people like moi point this out, we are attacking, that's in quotes, Kamala Harris.
Really? Subscribe to the Larry Elder podcast today on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Hi, it's Bruce Hooley, and I am so thankful for your prayers and the concern of so many friends I've met through my work here at The Answer since my brain cancer diagnosis about 1 year ago. One of those friends, Dr. Brandon Schreiner of Revive Chiropractic in Lewis Center, has worked with me on some projects before my diagnosis, and since then, he and the specialists at Revive have helped me recover from surgery and treatment with little to no side effects. By getting my neck and spine back into alignment at Revive, I've given myself the best chance to heal and return to an active lifestyle. Now, if you're tired of being in pain, tired of being unable to do what you enjoy most, there's no better time than now to contact Revive during their new patient special. Mention my name and you'll pay just $65 for a consultation with the doctors, an exam, your first treatment, and x-rays if needed. Let Dr. B and the team at Revive do for you what they've done for me. Find them online at revivechiro.com. That's revivechiro.com, or call 614-781-8808, revivechiro.com, or 614-781-8808.
War has played a key role in the history of the United States, from the nation's founding right down to the present. Wars made the United States independent, kept it together, increased its size, and established it as a global superpower. Hi, I'm James Early, host of the Key Battles of American History podcast. In each episode, I discuss American history through the lens of the most important battles of America's wars. To start listening now, go to ParthenonPodcast.com or search Key Battles of American History on your favorite podcast app.
I had to give blood this morning, and when I gave my name, the very nice lady said, "Hey, are you the Bruce Hooley on The Answer?" I said, "Yes." And we get to talking, and I ended up offering her tickets to come and see the Battleground Talkers Tour, October the 22nd at Genoa. Now, we may have free tickets to give away to you at some point in time, but you didn't do me the solid this morning of taking my blood and not, harpooning my right arm to the point where I had to recoil in pain. So she earned her tickets. You can buy yours for the minimal cost of $5. General admission tickets to the October 22nd Battleground Talkers Tour at Genoa are just $5. You can get into the meet and greet, the VIP meet and greet, with food and a chance to greet the other speakers at that event, which include Hugh Hewitt, Larry Elder, and also Mike Gallagher, Jack Windsor of the Windsor Report, by using my promo code Bruce25 at 9890answer.com. Get your tickets one way or the other. Battleground Talkers Tour, October 22nd, Genoa, 9890answer.com. So no mainstream media outlet's going to cover this hearing yesterday in Washington, D.C., where a former head of the San Diego sector, and once I tell you what he had to say, you'll know why he's the former head of the San Diego sector, because he is exposing how cavalier or, how purposed the Biden administration installing a revolving door on the southern border is for America. Known terrorists, people who are at the very least suspicious, at the very most not trustworthy at all, because their interests run counter to the United States of America, have been allowed to come into the country, and we can't detain them all. More than 100 have been released into the country. Gotaways, says we have no idea who they are or where they are. And let me just read you a couple of things that he had to say. I mean, this is terrifying. He says, each time we ask for help, this guy's name is Aaron Heitke, who's the head of the San Diego sector of U.S. Border Patrol. Each time we asked for help in dealing with a new issue, it fell on deaf ears. At times in San Diego, we had 2,000 or more aliens sitting in between the fences asking to turn themselves in. I was told to move them out of sight of the media. He goes on to say, for the first time in my 25 years under 5 different presidential administrations, whether through neglect or on purpose, I saw a large-scale lapse in our ability to return people to their country of origin. The inability to send people home meant that most people being arrested for illegal entry would either have to be detained or released. Detained or released. Now, at a hearing in Washington, D.C., they try to present both sides of the issue. And so the Democrats yesterday brought out a Santa Cruz County sheriff to present his view of what was going on. And this is a classic example of Democratic logic. A classic example of Democratic logic. Listen to what this Democratic witness at this hearing had to say about the alarming number of known terrorists attempting to cross, and in many cases getting across, the southern border and entering our country. Remember, Democratic logic.
The people coming across are coming across to work. They're not coming as an invasion to import an army, to have a secret army embedded in the United States to attack America and attack American values. They're coming here to work.
They're coming here to work. Okay. Can that be true? I mean, of course it can be true. And of course, in many cases, it is true. It doesn't change the fact that some of the people coming across are not coming here to work, or they are coming here to work on things we don't want them to be working on. Let's jump into the Wayback Machine, shall we? And go back to, the year 2000. Mohammed Atta and Ziad Jarrad came to America to work, right? They came to America to work on a little thing called 9/11. And they worked on it so well, they got their pilot's license and they flew planes into the towers. They were here to work. Were they here to work on something that was beneficial to the United States of America? I would argue no. Maybe this guy would argue yes. People can come here with a desire to pursue the American dream. They can come here for many reasons. The problem is when they come here for nefarious reasons, and you cannot know why they are coming here unless you can see who they are, detain them, deport them if they deserve to be deported. And you also cannot have more of them than you can handle. The Associated Press, bless their little hearts. I remember back when I first came to Columbus, I was friends with a lot of people from the Associated Press, and the organization was not as bad a leftist organization then as it is right now. The Associated Press went to Springfield yesterday, and they talked to a pastor. His name is Andy Mobley, and he runs an organization called Family Needs. It's a food pantry. And we need people like Andy Mobley. And we need food pantries. We need them to minister to people who grew up in Springfield and have fallen on hard times. And we need them to minister to people who come to Springfield. And that is what he did. He did note that in 2016, who became president then? Oh, that's right, Donald Trump. The population of Haitians in Springfield in 2016 was, he said, 400. Now, that's a workable number. That's something that Pastor Andy Mobley and Family Needs can cope with. But 20,000 is probably beyond their capability. Now, the Associated Press also wrote about a store in Springfield that they found yesterday where they are selling a line of mugs and clothing with a saying on it. And the saying is, speak a good word for Springfield or say nothing. See, you're not allowed to say anything bad about the fact that the influx of Haitian migrants have caused a problem in Springfield. Say good things about Springfield or say nothing. Which kind of reminds me of another t-shirt that I had years ago that had like 5 monkeys on it that said, see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, right? Okay, so back to the Santa Cruz sheriff and his extolling of illegal immigration in San Diego. More Democratic logic.
There was never a proposal to build a wall on the northern border, on the Canadian border. So, you know, there is this kind of racist component to it that we kind of all ignore, but it's there smoldering in the background.
If you oppose this, you cannot oppose it because they're making it more difficult for you to get benefits. You cannot oppose it because you are someone who worries about the incompatibility of Haitian culture with American culture. You are someone who does not want to be harassed on your way into Walmart, or somebody who does not want to be run over as you're walking down the street. No, if you oppose it, you are racist. You are racist. Here's Diana Daniels. She's a resident of Springfield. She has a little bit of a different view of that.
What we're dealing with is a socioeconomic and a sociocultural disparity between the two groups. And I think that's really essential, despite the fact that we have 20,000 Haitians and approximately 8,000 Hispanics that have come in since 2014. This is an unprecedented number, and of course it's going to cause difficulty. The truth of the matter is the residents of Springfield have been sounding the alarm for several years, and I myself have been at City Commission for the past year every single Tuesday night sounding the alarm that your house is on fire and you better do something about it. And so we've come to this position. The City Commission has never allowed us to actually have a seat at the table to have a meaningful conversation regarding the socioeconomic and social cultural differences. We are always painted with the brush that we are, to say the least, racist. And that could not be further from the truth.
Say nothing about Springfield. That's bad.
7 to 3 on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You'll sleep better knowing you got a great deal on a great mattress because you got it from Mac Mattress Outlet and the Discount Shopping Club. Right now, get a $500 certificate from Mac Mattress Outlet for any mattress purchase for only $250. These certificates go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. For details, log on to the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com.
Mattress Outlet. News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer. Anywhere you go with The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart.
You need a very good pillow to sleep through the night. If you don't have a very good pillow, you will have to flip it over and find the cool side, or it will collapse on you and your neck will start to hurt and you'll wake up from the pain. You can solve this problem for a minimal amount of money, even more minimally than before, because the standard MyPillow is now on sale. And right about now, you're going, yes, I know, $25. I'll get one eventually, Bruce. No, listen closely. The standard MyPillow is now $14.98 at MyPillow.com. How can Mike Lindell do this? Well, another big box store has decided to cancel Mike Lindell products from its shelves. That saves Mike Lindell money in one realm, because you don't have to pay to have his products on the shelves. But of course, it costs him money in another regard, because if it's not on the shelf, people won't see it and people won't buy it. So he is taking the gamble that lowering his price will induce you to go to MyPillow.com, use my promo code Bruce, and get that pillow for $14.98. Let's prove him right, shall we? MyPillow.com, promo code Bruce. I did not think it could get better than the pagers that are carried by Hezbollah terrorists and operatives exploding in the pockets and hands of anti-Semites, killing, how many were killed? It was like 16 killed and thousands injured. Let's see, that happened on Tuesday. Now, the pagers were used by Hezbollah to communicate with each other because the head of Hezbollah thought that cell phones were too easy for the Israelis to eavesdrop on their communications. So he insisted that everybody use pagers. And Israel delivered pagers through a shell company to the Hezbollah terrorists, implanted with explosives, and then detonated those explosives. Hence the carnage in Lebanon on Tuesday. Well, what do you do if you're a Hezbollah terrorist and your pager no longer works, or you can't afford to access it because, you know, it might blow up on you and render you unable to have children if you happen to keep that pager in your pocket? Okay. Well, then you go to the emergency backup communication method, which has been established before any of this happened by Hezbollah leadership, which are walkie-talkies and radios. Well, yesterday, Israel showed that it also had the capacity to detonate the Sony Walkmans that Hezbollah terrorists were carrying around while they were listening to the cassette tapes of chance death to Israel, probably. They detonated the walkie-talkies and they killed 20 more terrorists and injured 450 more. This is what is known as trumping your own ace. So Israel is certainly sending the message that they have ways of getting to the terrorists on their northern border that the terrorists on their northern border never anticipated. First wave of strikes said to have injured approximately 4,000 people, including hundreds in critical condition. Sorry, I don't feel sympathy for people who have dedicated their lives to cleansing the world of Jews. To me, this is a further demonstration of a couple of things. Number one, that God has his hand on Israel. Number two, that he has gifted Israel with incredible intelligence techniques and the ability to eradicate its enemies. And as I have said before, at the end of time, Israel will be standing, and no one who is aligned against them will be. So take a lesson, America. Specifically Kamala Harris, who in her vapid shoeshine interview with black journalists the other day said that she would support a boycott of 2,000-pound bombs to Israel. Those are needed more now than ever because in the north, Hezbollah tunnels are said to be bigger and more conducive to the work of the Iranian-backed Hezbollah terrorists. But there are no Israeli hostages in those tunnels. So Israel can go through and just bomb them into oblivion and turn southern Lebanon into the world's largest outdoor sandbox, which they should do as soon as possible with the full support of the United States of America. Now, I was looking for material today for our 1220 segment, which we call Today in Crazy. And I came across so many things in a different sort of realm. I mean, they would all fit under Today in Crazy, but I never have problems finding headlines for that. I might have to start a segment on Today in Democratic Lies. Kamala Harris is trying to make hay off of a situation that she says points out how awful Donald Trump's abortion policy is. In fact, she has referred to 20 states in America and Donald Trump's abortion bans. All of those states enacted their abortion restrictions independent of Donald Trump. This is not, Donald Trump did not go in there. They all enacted their abortion restrictions via the legislative process. I know Kamala Harris hates the legislative process. She favors the executive order process, which she's under the impression that Donald Trump apparently ordered all these states while he was not president to enact abortion bans. But she has lifted up the case of a woman named Amber Thurman. Amber Thurman is from Georgia. She was pregnant with twins. She wanted to abort both of them. Well, Georgia has a heartbeat bill. Again, not the Donald Trump heartbeat bill, just the heartbeat bill. Blame it on Brian Kemp if you want to, but not Donald Trump. So she couldn't get an abortion to kill her twins in Georgia. So she went to North Carolina to have a surgical abortion, except that she got stuck in traffic or I don't know, something. She showed up late at the hospital where she was supposed to have her surgical abortion, and they were like, we can't take you. But here are the abortion drugs, mifepristone and something else, which the Democrats always tell us are exceedingly safe, right? You go home, you pass the baby at home. It's a gruesome circumstance. If you've watched the movie Unplanned, which details the life of Abby Johnston, you get a flavor for how awful those do-it-yourself abortion drugs are at home. So she went ahead, she went to Georgia, took the medicine, passed, this is so gross, some of the, she passed some of the bodies of the twins. Some of the body parts remained inside her. She started to have health problems. No surprise there. She went to the hospital in Atlanta to have those body parts removed. And for some reason, they said, we can't take you today, come back tomorrow. When she came back the next day, She was suffering from sepsis and she died on the operating table. Kamala Harris tweeted this: "A young mother from Georgia should be alive today, raising her sons and pursuing her dream of attending nursing school. This is exactly what we feared when Roe versus Wade was struck down. In more than 20 states, Trump abortion bans prevent doctors from providing basic medical care." Is that what happened here? No, it's not at all what happened here. It is a blatant lie. Speaking of Kamala Harris and blatant lies, here is Nancy Pelosi speaking yesterday to a journalist about Kamala Harris's ascension to the top of the Democratic ticket. We could headline this: "Blatant lies told by Democrats." Headline number 2.
Did you change your mind because you saw all the excitement around Kamala Harris?
No, I didn't change my mind. We had an open primary and she won it. Nobody else got in the race because she was politically astute. And that was the thought to show our talent. We have a great bench, all these great people in the country.
Her talent, she was politically astute. What political talent, what savvy did Kamala Harris demonstrate other than being the warmest body next to the dead body of Joe Biden when they decided to kick him aside? That open primary, she said, an open primary. Now, lies told by Democrats number 3. I saw a headline this morning that 158 Democrats voted against a bill in the House yesterday that would stipulate that if you are an illegal immigrant in the United States of America and you commit a crime against a woman, a sex crime, that you must be deported. 158 Democrats in the House voted against it. Thankfully, 50 passed it. 50 voted for it and joined with the Republicans, and they passed it. It won't go anywhere because the Senate will never bring it to the floor. So I wanted to find out more about this story. And I Googled 158 Democrats vote against deporting illegal immigrants for sex crimes. Here's the result I got back from Google. It looks like the results below are changing quickly. Check the source. Are they trusted on this topic? Come back later. Other sources might have more information on this topic in a few hours or days. I went to DuckDuckGo and it popped up with multiple results from multiple conservative outlets. Aren't we fortunate that we have people who are safeguarding us from misinformation? I feel fortunate, don't you?
Partly sunny and warm afternoon. High today at 88. It'll be clear tonight, low 62. Sunny to partly cloudy. It'll be a hot day tomorrow. High at 93. Saturday, variable cloudiness, a thunder shower, and the high near 90. For Sunday, a very warm day. Sunny clouds, high 87. Clouds on Monday morning, followed by some sunny clouds for the afternoon. The high for Monday at 79. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Before the most pivotal election of our lifetime, the Battleground Talkers Tour comes to Columbus. Be a part of the critical conversations that will influence the direction of America. See Bruce Hooley, Hugh Hewitt, Mike Gallagher, Larry Elder, and special guests live on stage Tuesday, October 22nd at Genoa Church in Westerville. The Battleground Talkers Tour. Tickets start at just $5 and are available now at 989theanswer.com.
Hi, I'm Paul George with Keller Williams Greater Columbus Realty, host of the Paul George Real Estate Show, broadcasting every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 98.9 The Answer. Using over 30 years of trusted real estate agent experience in Central Ohio, I'll share invaluable insights into the ever-evolving local real estate market, provide you with current trends, and bring industry experts who will share their wisdom on the art of buying and selling homes. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Is service important to you? Well, we asked Bob and Monica Andrick that very question about their service experience with Miller Cabinets of Plain City.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. In fact, Monica stole my thunder a little bit. I was going to discuss the refrigerator, and that was service after the fact, which is very important.
Yeah, it's just a simple thing, right? But,
yes.
But it's not simple.
Well, no, because they had to cut, sand, stain, finish, clean up, same day. And that's it. And it was a number of years later.
Yeah, so that's really good service. Not only do they design
and you meet with people and you get the talk and they install. And then not only do they come back and stand behind their product. So that's what's really nice to have something like what happened to me, because you know where to go to get it served. It's just awesome.
Service from start to finish and even beyond, that's Miller Cabinets of Plain City. Get inspired today at millercabinets.com.
Who are the people that serve part-time in the Ohio Army National Guard? We are your neighbors and friends. We are your sons and daughters. Our service is providing us valuable job skills, and it pays up to 100% of our tuition. We're proud to serve our state. We are your Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with the Ohio Army National Guard at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard, aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Marriage is a journey full of moments of joy and challenges. What if you could connect with your spouse on a deeper level just by asking the right questions? Focus on the Family is offering you a free resource to help you do just that. Download the 9 Questions to Ask Your Spouse PDF today and discover how these simple conversations can bring you closer together. Text MARRIAGE to 94878 to get your free copy now. That's MARRIAGE to 94878. Connect, grow, and be blessed.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2 to Retire Ready Ohio with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
It's tough in the Biden economy. I saw a story today about a place in Grandview that started in business in 2016. Did really well, except now it's going out of business. Things started to get tough around 2020. Anybody guess what happened? I can guess. You can guess. You're experiencing it every day. Prices are going up at the pump. Prices are going up at the grocery store. Maybe the way to mitigate against that would be to enter and attempt to win the $13,000 gas and groceries giveaway sweepstakes. You can enter at 989theanswer.com. We're giving away a $10,000 grand prize. Second and third prizes of $1,000 and $500. It all totals up to $13,000, and you could win it, but you have to register. You can do so once per day at minimum until September the 30th. Bonus opportunities to complete additional entries. Also, you will find those details at where you register in the first place, 989theanswer.com. The Teamsters Union says that there's no clear favorite among their membership as to who the union should endorse for president. The internal vote of Teamster members show that 58% of them support Donald Trump and 31% support Kamala Harris. That seems pretty clear to me, but not to Sean O'Brien, the head of the Teamsters. And so the Teamsters are going to sit this one out. They're not going to endorse a political candidate. Although I saw today the California Teamsters, hold on to your hats, this will knock you over, have decided to endorse Kamala Harris. Now, what's really interesting here is the Teamsters can spot a phony a mile away and do not like Kamala Harris and recognize that a lot of the positions that she has had surrogates say she has no longer pledged to implement as president. Maybe you can't trust her on that. Maybe that might not be so. Maybe she's a little bit more EV friendly than she wants to let on. When Joe Biden was the candidate for the Democrats, 44% of Teamsters favored Biden and 36% favored Trump. Now it's a much wider gap, which, is baffling to me because, granted, this tape's a little bit old, but I don't really think her mindset has changed too much. How could anyone not find Kamala Harris to be so irresistibly joyful and vibe ridden.
You know, I was the first person to be a woman Attorney General of California. I was the first woman to be elected District Attorney of San Francisco. I was the first person of color to be elected Attorney General of California. Whatever, first. Welcome to the Role Model Club. It's tough. Being a part of the Role Model Club means being in a room where sometimes you may be the only person who has had the experiences you've had.
It also means trying to pander for applause and having people go, so, and not respond with any affirming actions at all. Don't we all feel sorry for her? Yeah, that Peter principle, that's a killer. When you fail up all the time. Don't know how she's persevered, but she has. Good for her. Now, I don't know if Brandon Simmons, member of the Columbus City School Board, will persevere. And it now appears that Brandon Simmons, if he is forced to resign, well, he may not be alone in that club. Look at the Columbus Dispatch today, going after the board president, Tina Pierce. What did she do? Oh, she spoke to Brandon Simmons in a phone call that Mr. Simmons, through Freedom of Information Act requests, has now been forced to disclose. The almost 40-minute audio shows that the president of the board told Brandon Simmons when he said, you know what I think I should probably do with this document that I've put together about how we can win the PR battle on closing schools. I think I should probably just come right out and tell the truth. And she responded, this is the president of the Columbus Board of Education, ladies and gentlemen. No, don't do that. Bad idea. You got to love the transparency, don't you? I mean, they promised transparency the other day, and you notice what's happened since they promised transparency? Tina Pierce has not said a word to anyone, nor has Sarah Ingalls, who was the person with whom Jennifer Adair, the former president of the board, who also had a secret phone call with Brandon Simmons. It's not so secret anymore because it has been disclosed. Sarah Ingalls is the other member of the board with whom Jennifer Adair shared the document that Brandon Simmons put together. You know, the document that said, hey, I know how we can win this PR battle. Let's drive a wedge between the faculty and the other union members, like janitors and bus drivers. Let's use racial dynamics. That always works for us. After all, we're Democrats. Let's reward good media outlets. Does anybody have David Muir's phone number? With priority seating or better camera locations and priority interviews. I mean, that works, right? Works for the DNC, probably work for us too. So this is not sitting well, shockingly, with parents in the district. You know, parents in the district, they have this crazy notion that the Board of Education should be concerned first and foremost about, what do you think? Educating students. Come on, parents, get on board. The Board of Education train, where it is all about going to fancy seminars and asking for more money and getting government grants. That's what it's about. It's not about educating the kids. You can tell that from the test scores. One mother tells WSYX6, as the board stands now, I don't think any of them know what they are doing. And if they do, know what they are doing is bad. That's really not an evaluation you want as a school board member. I don't think you know what you're doing. And if you do know what you're doing is bad. They should put that on a t-shirt. I think it'd be a lot of parents who'd wear that t-shirt to the next Columbus Board of Education meeting. This mom has 4 kids, so she's deeply invested and also deeply trapped. Another PR expert consulted by WSYX6, who is not affiliated with Columbus City Schools, because, of course, if she was, she wouldn't say a word, because then the contract she has with Columbus City Schools would vaporize. So this PR expert, her name is Marcy Fleischer with Team Fleischer Communications, says it's very hard to trust a group of people when they can't trust each other. I want to give that away, Marcy, that one board member was secretly taping the other two, and then one of the ones that he was secretly taping shared the contents of a document that he wanted to remain secret with another board member, who then released it to the union, which shows that the relationship between that board member, and that'd be Sarah Ingalls, and the teachers union is kind of uncomfortably cozy. I'm not saying that boards and teachers shouldn't communicate. They should communicate. They have to communicate. But they should communicate openly and honestly. They should communicate via a board decision, not via a one member of the board decision. See, one of the things that you have to know and you have to adhere to when you serve on any body, particularly a body that is charged with serving the community, is that you may have your own agendas, you may have your own personal beliefs. But when you decide something, you have to be humble enough to accept the decision of the majority of the board, and you have to get behind that, and you have to not work behind the scenes to undermine it or to put your foot on the scale. And that is certainly what happened when this document from Brandon Simmons was released to the teachers unions ahead of time to undermine what was just, to me, looks like a young kid, probably well-intentioned, a little clumsy in his recommendations, which were stupid and unhinged. But rather than just take him aside and say, hey, this won't work, you got to be honest with people, they decided to vilify him and demonstrate their complete dysfunction.
Am I calling Matt?
You are.
Okay.
Got his number? Thank you for joining. Hope you guys have a good Thursday. I love Thursdays. You know why? Because it means Friday's coming next. Have a good week, and see you tomorrow.